To everything there is a season, a time to every purpose under heaven. Things do not just happen, they happen in their time. You cannot separate your experiences from your seasons. The reason for snow is winter. The reason for rain is rainy season. If you want to know why it's happening now, ask your season. Welcome to this channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the year 2026 and how Exodus 26 relates to it. You know, it's important that every season has guiding light in the book of the Bible and the chapters of the Bible that correspond to it. So we opened this year looking at the 26th book of the Bible, the book of Ezekiel. We used the first 48 days of the year to look at the 48 chapters of Ezekiel and what it means for us in 2026. And we have also looked at Genesis 26. And in Genesis 26, Isaac obeyed the Lord. And then he sowed in the land. He sowed in the land. He planted his seeds in the land. He dug wells, and God prospered him. He did something, and God prospered him. We're going to go into Exodus 26 to see how what the Lord has for us. Exodus 26 has 37 chapters. We might not read all of it, but I'd like you to observe a few things as you read Exodus chapter 26. Very, very important. In Exodus chapter 26, God gave instructions. We said, when we looked at Genesis 26, that Isaac began to prosper through divine instruction. Look out for divine instruction this year. It doesn't matter where you find yourself, always look out for divine instruction. This year, the Lord will give distinction to his people through divine instruction, and of course through obedience to divine instruction. If you will obey God this year, you will be among them, but you will not be like them. God will make a difference between you and the rest of the people, because you receive instruction from heaven, you receive direction from heaven, and choose to walk with that direction. So pay very close attention. So Exodus chapter 26 opens us up to something else that we need to pay very close attention. Pay very, very close attention to. It says, moreover, you shall make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine woven linen, and blue, purple, and scarlet thread, with artistic designs of cherubim. You shall weave them. The length of each curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. And every one of the curtains shall have the same measurements. 5 curtains shall be coupled to one another, and the other 5 curtains shall be coupled to one another. And you shall make loops of blue yarn on the edges of the curtain, on the sleeve edge of one set, and likewise you shall do on the outer edge of the other curtain of the second set. Now, I'm going to bring out 2 things here, 2 things that I'd like you to take very seriously. In 2026, there is a part that God will play, but there is a part that you must play. The part that God will play, as you listen to him and pay attention to him, is that God will give direction. The Lord will give you direction. So sure, as you come before him and humble your heart before Him, this year the Lord will give direction. He will show you which way to do it. He will show you how to do the things He wants you to do. He will show you what He wants you to do, and He will also show you how to do them. If you listen well enough, you will get divine direction. That's one of the keys to prospering in this season. Divine direction will neutralize everything the enemy will want to throw at you, because God is bigger than the enemy. Now, the second thing, it is one thing to have divine direction. It's another thing to follow divine direction. It's possible to get direction. God tells you what to do. God tells you where to go. But it's your choice to follow divine direction. And I'm not saying anything strange. God told Adam and Eve what to do, but they chose to do something else. And we all go through that. God tells us what to do. We choose to go our own way. Our world is the way it is today because man chose to do things his own way. And that will not be your portion in 2026. 2026, God will give direction, but He wants us to follow His direction. So, here is what you're going to read. As you read Exodus 26, I'd like you to take note of this. How many times God said, you shall. You shall. In verse 1, say, you shall make. You shall make. Then, before the end of chapter 1, verse 1, you say, you shall weave. You go to verse 4. Now, in chapter 1, in verse 1 of chapter 26, you see 2 times you shall. In verse 4, you see, you shall make loops. Before the end of chapter 4, he said, you shall do, likewise you shall do. You come into chapter 5, you shall make. 2 times. In verse 5. You go to verse 6, and you shall make. In verse 7, you shall make 2 times. In verse 9, and you shall couple. Again, and you shall double. Verse 10, you shall make. Verse 11, you shall make. You keep reading it down. What is that saying to us? God is saying, I have a part to play. You also have a part to do. If you're going to prosper this year, it's not going to be only about what you do. It's not just going to be your effort. It is also not going to be only about what God will do. Yes, the Lord will help us, the Lord will make a way, the Lord will do this, the Lord will do that. But God is saying, I have a part to play, but you have a responsibility. If God told Isaac to stay in the land, and Isaac stayed in the land, and did not plant his seeds, and did not dig wells, stay in the land will not amount to anything. It was Isaac's part to stay in the land. It was also Isaac's part to sow. And then it was God's part to give direction, and God's part to also prosper Isaac. Say, I will bless you because your father obeyed me. So you have a part to play this year. Sit down for a while and ask yourself, what part do I have to play? Yeah, God will give me direction, but I have a part to play. If God said to sing a song, I will be the one to sing it. I'm not going to wait for angels to sing that song. If God wants you to do anything, you're going to play your part and do that. You're going to receive grace for creativity from Him. You're going to, settle down and do what you ought to do. God is not going to do your part. He will do His part. And He does not expect you to try to do His part. He will give you direction, but you have to follow the direction, and then God will bless your obedience and your effort because you are following divine direction. So don't forget that God has a part to play in your success this year. He will give you direction. But you have a part to play. You have to obey direction and follow strictly what God would have you to do. And when you do that, God will pour out the blessings. What do you think? What will God have you to do this year? What is the Lord telling you to do this year? Don't let fear stop you. Don't let the circumstances around you stop you. Don't let troubles. Don't let men stop you. Go ahead and do your part. Sing that song. Write that book. Make that investment. Do that project. Do that work. Just do that work, and you will see God will prosper it. God has a part. You have a part. Each person will do his. God bless you. Amen.